I am making this announcement in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, laws of the state of New Jersey. The Borough Clerk has prepared a schedule of the meetings of the governing body of the Borough of Kenilworth for the year 2023. The Borough Clerk has posted a true copy of the schedule on the bulletin board located at the front entrance of Borough Hall. Come on. And has mailed true copies of the schedule to the local source, the Star-Ledger and the Harlem News Tribune, and is maintaining a copy of the schedule in her office during the year 2023. Accordingly, the notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied in regard to this meeting. Please stand for the salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Finestrella?
Here.
Councilman Morrow?
Here.
Councilman Pence?
Here.
Councilman Puglisi?
Here.
Councilman Scurese?
Here.
Councilman Zimmerman?
Here.
Yeah, I have a proclamation this evening. Whereas the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks has designated May 1st to 7th as Youth Week to honor America's junior citizens for their accomplishments and to give fitting recognition of their service to the community, state, and nation. And the Union Elks Lodge number 1583 will sponsor an observance during the week, this week, in tribute to the junior citizens of this community. And no event could be more deserving of our support and participation than one dedicated to these young people who represent the nation's greatest resource and who in the years ahead will assume the responsibility for the advancement of our free society. And our youth need the guidance, inspiration, and encouragement which we alone can give in order to help develop those qualities of character essential for future leadership and go forth to serve America. To achieve this worthy objective, we should demonstrate our partnership with youth, our understanding of their hopes and aspirations, and a sincere willingness to help prepare them in every way for the responsibilities and opportunities of citizenship. Now, therefore, I, Linda Karlovich, the Mayor of Kenilworth, New Jersey, do hereby proclaim the first week of May as Youth Week, and urge all departments of government, civic, fraternal, and patriotic groups, and our citizens generally, to participate wholeheartedly in this observance. In witness hereof, I hereunto set my hand this 3rd day of May in the year of our Lord 2023. Okay, I just had a couple things I wanted to say, just to announce. A second here. I just wanted to announce that the 32nd Annual PBA Fishing Derby will be held on June 3rd from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Registration is mandatory and starts at 7:30 a.m. sharp. And tomorrow is National Prayer Day. I'm not sure if anyone knows this. God bless you. And the Kenilworth Interfaith Fellowship Service will be held here tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. at Borough Hall, and everyone is welcome. I'd also like to congratulate Paulette Drogan for receiving the Volunteer of the Year Award from Municipal Alliance at last night's recognition dinner. Yes, congratulations. This accolade is well-deserved to a woman who has so selfishly served our community in so many ways. And also, the Kenilworth Rotary is once again selling Super 50/50s like they usually do every year. For Kenilworth students, they support numerous events such as summer trips for rec camp kids during the summer. They provide dictionaries. I don't know if anyone knows this, but they provide a dictionary to every 3rd grader in Kenilworth. They also, they run the camp. They also have scholarships. So they sell these, they're $20 a piece, and this helps fund these really important programs in our borough. So if anyone wants to take a chance, you can see Pat Boyle or Terry Zuckerman, and they have tickets, and I'm sure other people do, but those are the only two I know. And also, and Kristen Boyle as well has them. Or I guess any member of the Rotary probably. Also, I got an alert from the county this afternoon that there's a PSC&G scam alert going on again, so please be careful. I know this has happened to me in my business, which I knew I paid the bill, so I disregarded it. However, they're very convincing. Sometimes it can even come up as PSC&G on your caller ID. Basically, they're threatening to shut the power off, saying that you haven't paid, and they'll demand payment, usually in the form of a fund, a transfer, a bank transfer, or a prepaid card. Do not pay them. This is a scam. PSE&G isn't going to call you and tell you they're shutting off your electric in an hour and demand that kind of payment. So be careful, because it's very easy to do. I know a business owner close to mine thought he forgot, and he fell for it and lost a lot of money. So anyway, that's all I have. I'd like to move on to the finance report. Councilman Puglisi.
Thank you, Mayor. The Finance Committee met this past Monday to go over we had to readjust some numbers. We found additional expenses that weren't in the previous budget, so we had to rework the numbers, and I believe we did so, and we plan on introducing the budget 2 weeks from today. And then after that, 4 weeks from today, will be the budget we presented for public presentation. The Finance Committee has asked the chairs of all departments in the borough to provide a proposed budget for the capital budget, and our CFO has received responses from some of the department heads and not from others. We anticipate getting responses from everybody by the time our Finance Committee meets again to discuss the capital budget. We're just waiting for a few more items before we meet to discuss the capital budget. As part of the Finance Committee, what was brought up was that, we are part-time council members. We don't know the department head's jobs better than they do, nor do we intend to even try to. So what we thought of is, let's have one day we can invite all the department heads to meet with the Finance Committee, to tell us, or to help us, either bring in more revenue to the borough or save money for the borough moving forward. Not necessarily for this year, but for next year's budget. And that would include inviting the police chief, the construction office, somebody from the DPW, from every department in town that receives finance from the Finance Committee. And if we can get everyone together in one room, and perhaps just a meeting with the police chief, with the DPW, by way of example, they can give and take some ideas to us, and maybe either by raising fees or just come up with new fees that we never even thought about. But even just more than that, just being more efficient primarily, right? It's not just all about fees and charging people, just being more efficient. Maybe just overlap between departments. If we can cut out that overlap or the fat in between, make us run more efficiently moving forward. And we're going to set up that meeting hopefully in the next month or so, and I'll be with the Finance Committee. Ultimately, if anything comes of it as a result, it'll come before the governing body at work session, and we'll see if anything needs to be done. After that, we met with the fire chief with regard to responses that are made by the fire department in response to a car accident. The way of example, if there's an accident on the Garden State Parkway and our fire department has to respond because the state police calls us or what have you, our fire department gets called and shows up on scene. If a fire department has to use the jaws of life, God forbid, or even just spread some of that oil-absorbing material on the ground, that's an expense to the borough. So there's mechanisms in place other municipalities use where the fire department and the borough charge the insurance of that vehicle that caused the accident, that was involved in the accident. So there's a company out there that if we send them the police reports, they'll send a letter to the insurance company and the owner of the vehicle saying, we reported to the scene, you owe us X amount of dollars. And that gets sent to the insurance company, and this third-party billing, this TPA, third-party administrator, for a small fee, would go after the insurance company and talk to the insurance company and recouping that expense for the borough moving forward. We are currently still in the very early stages of this discussion, so I don't have much other than conceptually, but that's something that the Finance Committee, and I have to give credit to Fire Chief Scuderi and for Jill for putting this together and working through it, because they're doing it in Scotch Plains and they're doing it in Mountainside, and they have a lot of Route 22, right? So they respond to a lot of those accidents. So they have this mechanism in place. So the goal is to get it in place, hopefully for 2024.
Do they charge a flat rate, or is it a percentage?
I think it's depending upon what the fire department does. So it's a flat rate depending on, depending on. Jaws of Life is
I mean the
$10.
company that we pay to.
Oh, yeah, it's a flat rate. I
It's a
believe it was
flat rate,
7% was the figure that was used, so.
7% of whatever that.
They bring in.
Okay.
So it's a win-win, it really is. That's just one of those things that.
Yeah, it's good.
When you have,
Yep.
members like Jill and Ken from other municipalities, and even the fire chief, right? When they work in other municipalities, they see and hear things, and they observe and they tell us about it. So in turn, we can hopefully, throw out the bad, come in with the good. Anyway, that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman. Department of Public Works, Councilman Fenestrelli.
Thank you, Mayor. Basically, a few things to say. I'm glad to announce that the vacant position for the DPW superintendent will be filled on May 22nd. After a thorough search, interviews, we came up with an excellent candidate, and we believe he's going to be an excellent fit. Also, we've come up with having 2 bulk pickups this year. It was a tough one because of the budget, but we're able to get that in. And the first one is going to be June 5th for the north side and June 12th for the south side. And then the fall pickup to be determined. And like I said, in the work session, the DPW does have a dumpster that will accept bulk waste. If you want to bring it there, you can dump it in the dumpster, or you can call the town, and for a fee, they will pick it up and take it away. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Department of Public Safety, Councilman Zimmerman.
Thank you, Mayor. I have Chief Seuss's report for April 2023. The Kennewick Police Department answered 1,227 calls for service, and there were 186 911 calls. There were a total of 128 hours of overtime for the month of April, and the majority of the overtime was for scheduled patrol overtime, which was 60 hours, and dispatch overtime, which was 48 hours, along with an additional 17 hours for Detective Bureau investigations. There were a total of 295 hours of training for the month of April, and the majority of the training time was to conduct active shooter training at the high school while the school was closed for spring break during Easter. The Kennewick Police Department issued 186 traffic summonses for the month, and there were a total of 12 sick days and no sick occurrences or on-the-job injuries for the month of April. Kennewick Police Department had a very busy month in April. There were numerous stolen vehicles, unfortunately, and pursuits as a result of hits from our flock cameras, which are located at the Boulevard and Michigan Avenue. Half dozen warrant arrests for out-of-town residents, and several Narcan deployments and several narcotic arrests in April. The Detective Bureau is also investigating an alleged sexual assault and a stolen bicycle that occurred from the Little League field. Also on April 22nd, Officer Dominic Riccelli conducted a motor vehicle stop on Michigan Avenue, and in the course of his investigation discovered a stolen handgun inside the vehicle. All 5 occupants of the vehicle, residents of Middlesex County, were ages 28 to 32 and arrested and remanded to the Union County Jail. The weapon is a SCCY 9mm handgun, and it was stolen out of Georgia back in 2017. And the Detective Bureau is in the process of swabbing the gun for DNA and testing the ballistics and the investigation is still ongoing to see where the gun came from. Also on April 24th, the Kenilworth police officers were dispatched to the Acme supermarket for a carjacking. Officers met with a 72-year-old victim who had his 2021 Aston Martin taken when two black males wearing hoodies and masks approached him on both sides. The first suspect brandished a silver revolver, and the second suspect held a knife to this gentleman's throat, and he demanded his car, keys, and wallet. The victim did not resist, and the suspects fled in his motor vehicle, the Aston Martin, towards the area of the Garden State Parkway. A short time later, the suspects led Newark Police Department on a high-speed chase through several jurisdictions in Essex County before crashing at South 15th Street and Madison Avenue in Newark. A foot pursuit ensued and resulted in the arrest of 3 suspects. Numerous Newark Police Department officers were injured, unfortunately, during this incident, and one sustained a broken arm as a result of this incident. The Kenilworth Police Department detectives Mike Scaniello and Anthony Tanks were on scene during the crash and are continuing the investigation with the Essex County Major Crimes Unit from their prosecutor's office. Our detectives believe that the victim was targeted and this was not a random attack at the Acme parking lot. Also, on National Police Week is upcoming, May 15th to the 21st. On May 15th, the Union County Police Chiefs Association is rededicating the Fallen Officers Memorial at the John H. Stamler Police Academy in Scotch Plains. The memorial had unfortunately fallen into disrepair over the years and has had to be redone and refurbished. And Police Week is an excellent time to unveil it. Also, Chief Seuss, along with Officer Dominic Riccelli and Dispatcher Chrissy Castle, will be leaving on Tuesday, May 9th, this upcoming week, to bike 280 miles from Parsippany, New Jersey, to Washington, D.C., to raise money for the National Fallen Officers Foundation. There will be several thousand law enforcement officers from around the country completing the 4-day tour, which culminates with the candlelight vigil at the Fallen Officers Memorial on May 14th in Washington, D.C. And he said they ask for good luck and good weather, and good luck and good weather, and I wish you the best. Also, on May 23rd coming up, we have our Every 15 Minutes program. It's going to happen at 12 p.m. on Cross Street by the First Aid Squad. And on May 23rd, they're going to do the accident reenactment then. So there'll be the road will be closed, there'll be a crash scene set up there. The police, fire, EMS will all be out there and doing a mock accident for the juniors and seniors of the David Burley Middle High School. And it's a great program with the prom coming up for juniors and seniors. It's very, very heartfelt and emotional for those that participate. And they will have a professional video team out there to videotape it. And then the following day, on the 24th, they'll have an assembly at 8 a.m. in the high school auditorium. There's some other things that happen in between, like a reenactment up here in the courtroom that everybody's invited to come to that day. And they do go to students' houses and deal with their parents. And it's a very emotional time, and they have great results because it really lets people, and especially the children, know, and parents, the dangers of drugs, alcohol, and driving. So if you have the chance, May 23rd, 12 p.m., Cross Street, please come out and check it out. Also, the police department still has their hiring open for a PTC, Police Training Commission certified officer. Applications are due this Monday at 8 p.m., Chief?
The application closes this Friday at noon.
Okay, that's this Friday at noon.
We have about a dozen applicants right now.
Okay. So this Friday at noon, it will close. And also, the street fair is coming up on Sunday, May 21st at 10 a.m. The boulevard will be closed at 7 a.m. from 14th Street all the way down to 23rd Street. So just plan accordingly. If you're going to get down the boulevard that day, you'll be rerouted on a alternate route down, I believe, Monroe Avenue, like normal. So,
And if you can get out to see it, please try to come out and enjoy the street fair. It's a great time. You can meet our police officers, usually mayor and council are there also. Fire department always sets up, so the kids in town can come out and adults to see the fire department and their equipment and apparatus. And there's going to be a lot of food vendors. There's going to be a car show in front of Harding and in the loop of Harding, and a DJ there. And I believe they have some live entertainment also lined up for 21st Street area that'll be changing throughout the day. So if you're available that day, and hopefully we can have good weather then, Chief, too, like for the Unity Tour.
That's all.
And we'll get a great response that day, so. And I think that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Planning and zoning, Councilman Morrow.
Yeah, thank you. Not many major issues going on to report on, but we did see a lot of rain come in over the last few days, no surprise. I think during our workshop, we heard a lot of the residents complaining about a lot of the things we heard in the code enforcement office this week. The water is a problem, and I think some folks may have been draining pools through all this, with all the rain coming down, and may have been pumping it into neighbors' yards. Unwittingly, of course, because the hoses are just going back into the back of the yard, not realizing where the water grows. So let's all just be mindful. Short-term solutions, but just something to think about. We did see some very interesting permit activity go on. We have that little stretch of Route 22 by Party City where the cleaners did close down, and a well-known hockey equipment store may be moving in. So if you enjoyed the game, there may be a new place. You don't have to just go to Dick's. So more on that to come. Nice to see business thriving in Kenilworth.
Excellent.
Thank you. That's all from me.
Thank you. Recreation and Fire, Councilman Pence.
Thank you, Mayor. On April 30th, round 2 of the spring craft was held. That went well, maxed out. It's 27 participants. For summer camp, there's 649 registrants across the 8 weeks. Camp starts on June 26th, and the last day is Friday, August 18th, for a total of 8 weeks. Camp counselor and applicants have been interviewed, and new hires requests will be submitted for the next council meeting. 2 swim nights are scheduled at the Cranford Pool, Orange Avenue.
Yep.
June 29th at 8:30 and July 20th at 8:30. All rec events and activities will be through Community Pass and on the Facebook Recreation Facebook page and the new borough website. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman. Health, Education, and Human Services, Councilman Scurries.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll start with Board of Health. May 11th, COVID will be officially over. I think that's going to be a statewide declaration. The Board of Health will continue monitoring
Goodness.
children and basically all elderly, watching if there's any kind of outbreak. Our flu numbers were very low this season. There's still test kits available for COVID if anyone needs them. We're looking to replace our registered environmental health specialist who moved on to almost double the salary after serving 4.5 years. So far, there was only one applicant, and they had no experience. So the Board of Health decided to enter into shared services with the union so that that position, which is kind of like an inspector for the registered environmental health specialist. So right now, we're covered with union, the shared services agreement, until we hire or find somebody full-time. Our big problem is that we pay a lot less than neighboring towns, so it's a little more challenging for us. Let's see, let's go to Senior Center. Big news, June 6th, be a big picnic, DeMario Park, South Michigan Avenue, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. People over 60 can be free. And many other events going on at the Senior Center. There's a calendar available, whatever. Obviously, the lunch program is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You need to call in advance so they know how many lunches to make. Our director, Darlene, you can contact her at 908-276-1716. If you have any questions, also the office number for her would be 908-276-1716. And you have a big calendar, which we won't read the whole thing right now. Handyman program's up and running. We have 2 applications that have been approved, and I just have to move that process forward. Let's see, what else we got here? Obviously, other big news with the seniors is the final, we're very close to the final adoption of the new rules and regulations, I guess you could call it, for the seniors, so that hopefully it will run smoothly from this point forward, which I don't want to get ahead until we get the final adjustment to the governing body, and we'll take a look at it, and eventually be brought forward. Some of it will start to be rolled out, but I'm not going to get ahead of the letter that will be drafted, talked about during the workshop. As far as the library goes, the mold remediation has been completed. Their new website is being worked on, and it should be have a prototype operational at this point. They had a lot of problems with the borough phone system. Library patrons having a lot of difficulty getting in touch with the library, lines crossed. Hopefully that's all been resolved by now. They decided to utilize services of a lawyer that specializes in library and or employment law. Since I guess they have to pay for their own attorney, they might as well get a specialist in their field. And I think that's all I have to report.
Thank you, Councilman. Is there a motion to accept and approve committee reports?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the ordinance for public hearing, may I have a motion to carry the public hearing and final adoption for ordinance 2023-11 to our next meeting, which is scheduled for May 17, 2023 at 6 p.m. or as soon thereof after a said ordinance can be heard.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Aye. Oh, sorry.
Councilman Finestrella.
Yes.
Councilman Morrow.
Yes.
Councilman Pence.
Yes.
Councilman Puglisi.
Yes.
Councilman Scarice.
Yes.
Councilman Zimmerman.
Yes.
At this time, I'm looking for a motion to adopt a resolution to authorize a contract with K&Z Contracting for the renovation of the kitchen at the Kenilworth Senior Center, including new cabinets, countertop, and sink. Is there a motion to adopt resolution number 2020?
We need a motion to add it to the agenda first, Mayor.
Sorry. I'd like a motion to add resolution 2023-138 to the agenda.
Motion.
We
Second.
need roll call? Mark?
Yes.
Yes, roll call.
Councilman Finestrella.
Yes.
Councilman Morrow.
Yes.
Councilman Pence.
Yes.
Councilman Puglisi.
Yes.
Councilman Scarice.
Yes.
Councilman Zimmerman.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, I'm looking for a motion to adopt a resolution to authorize a contract with K&D Contracting for the renovation of the new kitchen at the Kenilworth Senior Center, including new cabinets, countertop, and sink. Is there a motion to adopt resolution number 2023-138?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call. I'm sorry, if anyone would like to see a copy, the clerk has copies as well. Sorry.
Oh, that's different. Okay, Councilman Finestrella.
Yes.
Councilman Morrow.
Yes.
Councilman Pence.
Yes.
Councilman Puglisi.
Yes.
Councilman Scarice.
Yes.
Councilman Zimmerman.
Yes.
Next for council consideration is the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
The consent agenda consists of the resolutions 2023-129 through 2023-137. These resolutions will be approved by one motion. All items will be recorded individually in full in the minutes. Councilman Finestrella.
Yes.
Councilman Morrow.
Yes.
Councilman Pence.
Yes.
Councilman Puglisi.
Yes.
Councilman Scarice.
Yes.
Councilman Zimmerman.
Yes.
Is there a motion to open the floor to the public?
Motion. Second.
Does anyone have anything to say for the good and well-being of Kenilworth? Please come forward and state your name and address.
Salute.
God bless you.
Sure.
Okay, seeing no one, is there a motion to close the floor to the public?
Motion.
Second.
Did you want to come up? All in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone have anything else to add for the good and welfare of the borough?
Just one thing I forgot to mention as part of my report, for the Board of Health, when we did the shared services agreement, the town is actually saving money with the shared services agreement with Union. So that actually helped us with the budget, and kudos goes out to Marconi for getting that along and getting that over to us.
Great. Good job. Okay. If there's nothing else to be brought before the council, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Good night, everyone. Thank you.